Well, hello and welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and welcome to. This is not the Jesus Enrique Rosas show, but could be. Could be. It's not, but I think this was JE, one of our trusty mods, was asking, is this one of the official number episodes? Technically, no. No, this is not one of the Jesus Enrique Rosas show episodes. We were leaving at 93. We could say that this is an number 94, just in case. Seeing all your comments, oh my God, you're from everywhere in the world. Portugal, France, Germany, let me see, Tennessee in the United States, Canada as well, Arkansas. Oh my God. Yeah, I missed the intro music as well. I missed the intro music. I hadn't heard that music in like ages. We're here to talk about the Charlie Kirk assassination case, and I want to. You have sent all of the emails. You have sent all of the emails and then some. And I've really tried to answer all of your emails. I've noticed that I have uploaded, I don't know, like 30 videos about Charlie Kirk, 40 videos. I don't know. Something has been something insane. The past 9 days have been completely insane. Today, I really needed some kind of break. This is for me some kind of break. This live is some kind of break. And I wanted to answer your questions live. I wanted to say, okay, you have a question about the case. Let's answer this right now. And let's check it out. Let me see. I started a Q&A here. Let me see if I can see. If I can see the Q&A, the questions. Let me see the question. Oh, what, you have a lot of questions in here. Let me see if I can. Let's see, pop out chat. I pop out the chat. All right, much better. Much better. I'm going to answer your questions. And remember that you can also support my channel. Best way, easiest way to support my channel is to go and hit the subscribe button. Very easy. We are more than 900,000. What happened? What happened? I remember that when we went through the 800,000 that we threw a party, but I was so busy with the 900,000 that, well, we should do something proper. But yeah, just subscribe, hit the bell so you get the notifications. And what else? If you want, if you'd like, we have a goal of 50 super chats today. It would be great if you support my channel with that. And also the merch. There's my merch, my classic merch right below this video. You should look at my merch, my mugs, my everything. I have some fancy buttons for my merch now. I press a button and my much love and bliss mug appears, or the body language guy black mug. The black mug is best. Black mug. I have a rogue. Where's my rogue mug? I have my what's it? I don't have my rogue mug. Which one of you have the rogue mug? I think it was a limited edition. I don't have the rogue mug available anymore, but let's answer. Let's see what we have here. We can start with something that some of you were already requesting in the chat, and is this the new picture shared by Candace Owens? I mean, by the way, I was listening. Today I was finally listening. I went for a drive. You know that sometimes the masculine urge to go and just drive on the highway. I was going for a drive, and I said, hey, maybe this is a good time to finally listen to Candace Owens' documentary on Becoming Brigitte. I haven't watched it, so I just put it like a podcast, and well, I listened to the first one. I listened to the introduction, and I have to say, I have to say that was something else. Something else. Okay, some of you are already sending questions. I'm missing some of them. Is Lance Twix in custody? Let me see. I try to write them. Okay. Sometimes you just gotta write. Let's talk about this picture. Candace Owens shared this picture. Some people are saying that it is. It was not from the day of the assassination. It was from a previous day because there is a Superman poster. People were already finding out. Regarding Candace Owens, I think that she's got really good sources for many stuff. She can be outrageous for other stuff. As usual, I always invite people to take everything, even what I say here, with a grain of salt, and make your due diligence to, have everything together. I like to have everything together in my channel, even if the things that make absolutely no sense, and I might talk with you or speak with you. We could chat about the craziest theories that I've been sent via email. Email. It's as something that you can also send me in email. You have right here in the description here. So there's one account that, by the way, confirmed that this could be real. Kevin Dion, I wanted to give it more into details. What is this picture about? This is, people are saying, oh, this was just 17 minutes after the shot. No, that is incorrect. This is what at a Dairy Queen. This was at a Dairy Queen that is 17 minutes away from Utah Valley University, but this was like at 6:38 p.m. So it was like 6 hours after the shot. So that you have to be careful with that. But where's I'm lost. Kevin Dion, intervention 302. Made a very good case, this being a legit picture, even if there was a Superman like a poster, or I don't know what is this called, at that Dairy Queen. It is legit. So I'm receiving emails. I just received an email, for example, about all right. It's J. Charles, not King Charles. J. Charles just reached out to me, reached out to me, asking to analyze Frank Turek. I already analyzed Frank Turek. I have a video about that. Maybe if I can look for that. Who is Frank Turek? Frank Turek is this guy. The guy who had, the white hat and was doing the signals. I already made a video about him. And that is one issue that I have noticed. On the emails that you're sending. I think that you need to check my videos here on YouTube. Not complaining about your emails, but I see that so many of you request analysis of things that I have already analyzed. So it helps if you just check here my videos on YouTube. Every single video is here on the Body Language Guy channel. I'm going to start answering some of your questions. For example, the missing bullet. Oh my God. The missing bullet is perhaps my greatest concern. And I just made a video today that is hands down one of the most important, one of the biggest problems. This is not one of the bullets. It's just an illustration of what a 3006 this is what a 3006 is. And yes, some of you already sent me a video on YouTube, and somebody has this ballistic head. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I cannot show you that video here. It's a ballistic head is a replica of a human head made with a ballistic gel. It basically is like gel with a skull and some fake blood inside. So you can shoot it with different bullets and see what a bullet can do. And yes, if you shoot a human head with this baby right here, the pressure is going to, basically not leave much to. I don't want to describe the thing, but it's horrific. The video, even if the head is fake, is horrific. But then we have the fact that many people have this huge discussion. How is it possible that he was shot with this humongous bullet and that round entered through the left side of his neck? I also made sure to cover this guy's video. Gary from, where's his name? Paramount Tactical. Gary seems like the guy. When you need to know something about weapons, you go to Gary. This is the Paramount Tactical channel on YouTube, and I tried to explain the physics of the movement of Charlie getting shot, of why it was an entry wound or not an exit wound. All the impossibilities of capturing with a mobile phone just a bullet in mid-air is impossible. But Gary did a much better job than me with that. So that's why I recommended his channel. I'm going to recommend it again, Paramount Tactical. Make sure that you check his channel on YouTube. Not to dismiss the opinions that Zeb Boykin can have in Outside the Overton, because to be fair, he got this conversation running a lot. Maybe we disagree in many stuff, a lot of the stuff, but again, the important part in this is to reach the truth. How do we arrive at the truth? There are other. Let me see another question. Let me see the questions that you have sent. Let me see if I can. How can I go back here? And for example, Blue Skies Painting says, is Twig in police custody or where is he? Lance Twiggs. Lance Twiggs is the apparent partner, boyfriend of Tyler Robinson, the shooter. And one of the things that I find suspicious, this is one of the things that I find more suspicious about this case, is that from the very beginning that we knew that Tyler Robinson was the shooter, quote unquote. I want to talk about that. Let me write that down. Tyler Robinson. I'm going to put shooter between quotation marks. They have said, the FBI, Utah police, the sheriff, the governor, I think that even Kash Patel, every single one of them has repeated over and over again. You know the word. The boyfriend, the partner, the roommate is cooperating. He has been very cooperative. He's helping us a lot. It's over and over again. Okay, the first time I said, okay, that is nice. The roommate is cooperating. And then we find out that the roommate is, well, more than a roommate. It's a partner. It's a boyfriend. It's something, there is a romantic relationship in there. Maybe you can help me record another video that I want to make about that during this live stream, about that topic, by the way, that I want to talk about. But in this pattern that I keep watching all these videos, all this footage, all these reports, everywhere, I noticed that they repeat and hammer that word over and over again. As in, you don't have to pay attention to the boyfriend. You don't have to pay attention to the boyfriend. He is cooperating. He's cooperating with us. Let me see if I can find a picture of the boyfriend. It should be not that difficult. I have a lot of stuff in here. All right, here it is. They want to hammer the idea that the boyfriend has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. And I already find that suspicious. Why would you be so invested? Everyone, every single law enforcement officer that has had a microphone in his hands had said the boyfriend is cooperating. It's like they want us to just forget about that. And yes, some of you were, correct, Copper Mountain. Repeat is a red flag indeed. When they repeat that so much, that is a red flag indeed. He's cooperating because he wants a deal because he didn't report his boyfriend to the police, possibly as well. At the same time, we know, you see the text messages right here. We know that the text messages were crafted to, how to say this, to absolve, to make the boyfriend look like, the furry that we see on the far end of the screen. He had nothing to do with the shooting. He's innocent. He didn't know, he didn't know about what was going on, which is BS. Because, we already, I already talk about the messages, and it is impossible if a loved one messages you, I just shot Charlie Kirk. You're not going to, you might ask him why. I can't, I can't stretch, but the first thing would be, where are you? Are you, I could ask why, but immediately it's, where are you? What are you doing? Are you escaping from the police? Do you need help? What do I do? But the second question to be, how long have you been planning this? That is BS. That is BS. That is impossible. That is just not possible. So, I think it would be very easy to confirm that those messages were actually sent by Robinson from his phone. That is important. Copper Mountain sent a super chat. Thank you for your super chat, Copper Mountain. What do you think they are distracting us from? Well, I need to mention that I know that so many of you don't like me talking about Israel. Oh my God, not you as well. I like to separate things, keep things separated. But there's so many crazy stuff happening. There's all the Epstein files. Let me put my full screen here. There's one update here that I saved. I have so many. My bookmarks on X are on fire. I don't know if I saved that one. By the way, Netanyahu was saying, once again, Bibi Netanyahu found, he said, you know what? I have to say a third time, after being asked twice on interviews, that no, we did not kill Charlie Kirk. Why? Why was that necessary? Why was necessary again to say that again? I just don't get it. You hear me trying to find one post that's pretty much summarize what happened that same day that Charlie Kirk was shot. But I have so many bookmarks here, and I haven't that organized. I mean, there's no way that nobody can confirm or deny or find a way to say that Israel has anything to do with Charlie Kirk's assassination. Nobody can confirm that. If somebody tells you, and by the way, to be very fair, I'm trying to find this post. Where is it? To be fair, Candace Owens, you know that Candace Owens is really critical of the Jews. But she hasn't said directly. Oh yeah, it was the Jews, because of course you simply cannot say it. You simply cannot say it because nobody can confirm. Yes, it is true that Charlie Kirk was kind of a bit of more and more critical. Let me see. I'm about to reach. No, I already I missed this. He was being a bit critical. He was asking uncomfortable questions. He had that video with Ben Shapiro saying that we should be able to ask questions about Israel. Why not? And he was, let's say, disagreeing is in some aspects with how, all this treatment of Israel, and it is my understanding that Netanyahu is at the end of this month coming back for a fourth time, right, to the White House again. So, well, it's something that people have all the right to be suspicious about everything. Let me see. Again, not saying that was them. Oh my God, there was this. That same day, the Senate, it's like they just went on overdrive and passed well, first they passed something that blocked from the release of the Epstein files. And yes, I'm going to keep talking about the Epstein files. I'm gonna say it, and you know that I try to be fair, because when I saw what the victims that got of Epstein were gathered, like 2 weeks ago, and they said that they were going to release their own list of these people who they were trafficked to. Well, go ahead. Why don't you just say the names already? But that is the problem. And there's the other thing, that when grilling Kash Patel at the Senate, Senator Kennedy, my favorite senator, by the way, Senator Kennedy grilled Kash Patel about the Epstein files, about Jeffrey Epstein himself. And Kash Patel was very clear that there was zero evidence that all those women and girls and teenagers were not trafficked to anybody other than Jeffrey Epstein. So it was all for him. So Kash Patel said that, like, right there. It was maybe we can pull that video to watch. Yeah, I can pull that video. That is a great question. What are they distracting us from? If I can find that one. Kennedy, Patel, Epstein. All right, this is one. Let's play this one. Let's do the magic of the internet behind the scenes. And if I do this, then we can say, wait a second. I need to do some magic here to be sure that we can hear this.
These young, you've seen most of the files. Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to?
I apologize for the low. Let me download this. Let me download this video. It's better to download this video. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go to my. Since the volume is way too low, it's much better if we add some volume. Where's my? So you can listen to it better. I want you to have the best experience here. So to have any chance to be able to listen to this, okay. It's gonna be easier this way. We add captions, subtitles. It's gonna take just a minute, and we can watch this much better this way, and with much better sound. Here we go. So this was interesting. This is part of the. You are not listening because you are not. Oh my God. Now.
You've seen most of the files. Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files?
In the case file.
for the information that we have. And who else could have that information? Who else could have that information? What is, so it's something that was so blatant. Do you really believe that? Do you really believe that? I don't believe that. This is the problem. How does Kash Patel sit in there and he says just like that, there is no credible information that those women were not trafficked to anybody? And that's when you ask me, I understand why people craft this wonderful conspiracy theories, and so many of them turn out to be real at the end, because there's so much evidence out there that it couldn't have been just for Jeffrey Epstein. It's just not possible. So this is the problem, that I want to have faith. I want to believe, like the X-Files. I want to believe in Kash Patel, but he comes and he says those things, and yes, it's embarrassing, as Captain Kirk is saying. Embarrassing. Embarrassing would be a word way too light. Way too light. It's something that, I don't know, it erodes the trust in what they are doing. And now we know, I made a video as well. Sometimes it has happened to me that I see something on my X timeline and said, I have to make a video about this. I have to make a video about this. And then remember, I already made a video about this. Or I receive an email, when the caffeine hasn't kicked in yet in the morning, and I'm checking my email and receive an email. Oh, Jesus, you should check this video. And I said, oh yeah, I'm going to make a video about that. And wait a second, I already did. I just forgot. It has happened to me. S4, thank you for the super chat. Enjoy your channel. I do my best to have all the information in just one place. Tanya E, thank you for the super chat. My favorite channel on YouTube. Thank you, Tanya. Some of you have told me something that I never thought, that I was going to be like the poster boy for news. You are my go-to channel for news, and that is quite a responsibility. I want to be fair and try to be as unbiased as possible. You know that so many of you already know what are my values, my principles, what I stand for, what I don't like, what I do like, what I'm very clear, what could, let's say, what kind of biases can get in the way of my observations. I always try to make it very clear in all the instances, but especially most important, to bring you a place to check everything about these mysteries, because I realize that, looking at the videos, you really love this mysteries. Patricia Luna, thank you for helping us through this. I'm trying to do my best. I've gotten a lot of criticism. Oh, you are another grifter. You are another grifter. How many times have I heard that? Quite a few. You are another grifter. You're grifting. You're making. I'm just going to ask you a question. By the way, I need to make something very clear. For example, I want to set the record straight about one thing. I'm going to view my own channel. I have to copy and paste. Where is it? This one. This one, a very fun video to make. I'm going to copy and paste something to show you that I did on purpose, so you understand how it is. I want to be as transparent as possible with you. Sometimes it's a bit hard, but I want to be as transparent as possible with you. This video was very controversial. This one, Israel, Netanyahu, and the conspiracy to kill Charlie Kirk. 8 days ago. I feel that that was 2 months ago. And that video, many people were triggered because of the title, just for the headline. And in fact, I wrote that title, Israel, Netanyahu, and the Conspiracy to Kill Charlie Kirk, on purpose to trigger people into clicking the video. So people watch the video. And the video is a common sense take about, okay, how can we address what Charlie was saying in this past couple months, the questions that he was asking, the possibility that Israel was into this, and how you should separate Jews and Israel and Netanyahu, like 3 different entities. So it was kind of a clickbait, but I made sure to deliver with the video. That's something that I want to, something that I couldn't stand if I was watching another channel. And okay, I don't mind some level of clickbait as long as you deliver something fresh and new. And I really try to always deliver something fresh and new. J.E. May loves Senator Kennedy. Thank you. And Jesus, thank you. J.E. May, thank you. See, Jenny also with a super chat. Jenny sent a super chat but didn't say anything. Why? Let me see. There's a question here. How long until we'll find out from Timo James? Timo James. How long until we find out that Robinson was one of those? He was on our radar shooters. This is strange because we haven't had that meme yet. You know that Simpsons meme with that Bart was in the middle of the classroom, and they're saying, "Say it again." And he said he was on our radar. Yeah. So he has this FBI cap, but I don't think that this is the same situation as other. I don't think they were following Robinson in this case. This is very complex. I might stop right here at this point. Not stop the live, but make a pause here to talk about that. We have this chap, Tyler Robinson, this kind of loser, okay, who has somehow I want to understand. And this is the crazy part of this. This is the part who we need to address this because it's really concerning. This guy came from a pretty much nice family. Yeah, they were around guns. Somebody said something brilliant on X. He was around guns since a very young age. How, it's interesting that he became violent with guns only when he went to the left. Food for thought. But how come this guy, with the grades that he had, he's not exactly ugly. Many people say, oh, the guy is not gonna be like this other, the CEO killer, Luigi Mangione. But I don't think that he is ugly by any means. I think that he had a nice attitude from his photos. It's incredible the level of how can you become so entrenched online that you basically reject all your upbringing, all the values, all that your family stands for, and you basically get transformed. I mean, I don't want to blame the parents. I think the parents did the best they could, but at some point I think that they did not understand the risks of being online and where to hang out online. I'm pretty sure they had no idea what Discord was, or what Reddit was, or what Twitch was, or what Roblox, for example. By the way, thank you, CW. CW, you're in the chat. I saw you. CW sent me. Roblox is a game. It's one of the most popular games, and most people are not aware how big Roblox is. It's something that is massive. And in Roblox, it's like this role playing that, well, there's a lot of perverts in there, PDF files everywhere. And they did like some recreation of the Charlie Kirk assassination there. He did a literal recreation with everyone, like cheering that he was dead and stuff. It was insane. So I think that Tyler Robinson's parents did not know any of these risks. And this is one of the fundamental problems of this generation, especially when it hits you. You know, he would be right now he's 22 in 2025. So 5 years ago he was 17. So at 17 years old, what happened 5 years ago? What happened 5 years ago? 2020. You remember? The world went insane. We were locked up. We had to subject ourselves to experimental drugs. The lockdowns made a lot of people just go insane. And there are people that have not recovered from that. And you can imagine basically a kid, 17 years old, terminally online all day long on those forums. It clings to you. And by that, in those, I think it was around those dates, 2021, the next year, was that photo of him wearing that Donald Trump costume, which many people, oh yeah, he was a Trump supporter. No, man, that was mocking Donald Trump. And I wouldn't say that it's not a possibility that even being a Republican family, they didn't like Donald Trump, because in 2017, 2020, 2021, many Republicans still did not like Donald Trump. It was thanks to Joe Biden and thanks to Kamala Harris, we have to say that many Republicans finally saw Donald Trump for what he is. So that is, we have to thank Joe Biden and Kamala for that. It's something that we need to see this silver lining in everything that Biden happened. So this is the problem that I see. And this is the most frightening thing that I see. I don't think this is the case of the FBI saying, oh yeah, he was on our radar. Right? I think that they did not see this coming. Unless they have some kind of, I don't know, infiltrated FBI agent in those chat rooms. But how many chat rooms are in Discord? There are thousands of them, tens of thousands. How could you be listening unless you have AI monitoring those chat rooms? And at the same time, you can send direct messages on Discord from person to person, right? And in most of these platforms, wink, wink, you can have end-to-end encryption, encrypted messages. And if you have encrypted messages, technically, quote unquote, the company, be it WhatsApp or Facebook or X or Discord, should not be able to read your messages. In theory. Now, this is something that I've always thought, and this is something that I made a video about that. It was not, maybe not many people watched that video, is that to what extent are we willing to give some of our privacy in terms of an exchange that at least an AI can monitor what's going on everywhere, because an AI could monitor what people are talking about to some extent, because I am going to speak from a criminal mind. If I was a criminal, or if I was into, shady stuff, and I was on Discord, or I was on 4chan, or I was on Twitch, or anywhere, first thing I would do, very easy, is to develop a set of prearranged, like a code. Okay, let's speak in code, and codes that nobody else can understand, not even an AI. So the AI can see, oh yeah, we are about to, and you replace the verb kill for, I don't know, fold. We're about to fold the cake. And the cake would be like in the CIA, they say the mark, like the subject, the victim. You say that it's the cake. The cake becomes the word for the victim. So I'm just making this up. Maybe Charlie Kirk and those chats was called the cake. And somebody's about to fold the cake. And everybody knows what the cake means. Everybody knows what folding means, except for anybody who has not been infiltrated those chats or AI. The AI is pretty much useless at this point. Pretty much useless. You need people doing that, but you cannot have enough people monitoring everything. That is that is impossible. So we have a dilemma in there. You want to feel safe, but at the same time you will need some kind of oversee from the government. You cannot have. You cannot be totally free from government, putting their noses everywhere, and at the same time be totally safe. That is a bit complicated. It could exist, but it's like a kind of a utopia. It's a bit difficult. I'm saying, when am I seeing all this blurry? I didn't have my glasses on. Oh my God. Some of you love cake. So many of you love cake, but we are not talking about cake. We're talking about, well, all the things. Let me see. There are all the questions. Is this Q&A? Oh my God, I don't want to end the Q&A. I want to see the Q&A. How to see this? I'm like an amateur in Q&A. No, top chat questions. Let me see questions. Let me see your questions. Do they always do post-mortem when a person gets killed? Well, yes, if it's a crime, it is, of course. It says Alex Valentine. I cannot highlight your questions, but I will try to answer that, mention you, and answer your question. Alex Valentine. Did you see the video of the guy in the white to Charlie's side that has like handgun recoil at the exact moment? Okay, Alex Valentine, again, for the 10th time, that guy is this guy. Where is he? Oh my God, I've spoken about that like how many times? Let me see, where's that video? I have that video here somewhere. This guy, where is him? Frank Turek. For the 10th time, I understand you want the truth. Oh, the guy with the hat and the mobile phone. I have seen so many videos on YouTube saying that even lasers. I want to ask the question. At some point, I was about to ask the question. Did some kind of Jewish robots just appeared and had this Jewish eye lasers pointing at China or something like that? Because the theories that people have come up with, like this was some kind, and yeah, you can see when the laser turns on, and it's just a tiny reflection in the camera. He was FaceTiming his son at that moment, and he made a very touching video. It was the Charlie was like a son to him. It says, I know, and this is the problem. So many people, not to mention this guy in the background, I also made a video about him. No, he did not shoot yeah, Jewish laser bots. Unleash the Jewish laser bots. And the Jewish laser bots are invisible. And once they shot the lasers, they just transformed into jets and just propelled into the sky and went into Israel immediately. Oh, I'm going full Alex Jones with that one. But no, there's so many crazy stuff online. So many crazy stuff online. Why did Mr. Robinson confess to his family? Asks 590. Well, I think Mr. Robinson thought that that was the right thing to do. I think that takes courage, because that takes brass balls to turn your own son in, knowing that he's going to face the death penalty. That takes the solid principles. I know my son is gonna face the firing squad, and that is the right thing to do. But my hat is off to Mr. Robinson. Oh my God, you took the questions for real. Do you think it's a deep state assassination? Very good question. Unknown asked that question. Deep state assassination. All bets are off, because this could be an operation. This is also a theory. This is allegedly. This is something that could be or could not be. One thing that I'm 100% certain, 100% certain, is that Tyler Robinson, if Tyler Robinson was the shooter, which I am not 100% certain that he was the one who pulled the trigger, he could have been the one at that rooftop. I don't know, unless we see all the footage, we can't possibly know. We can't possibly know that he pulled the trigger. But let's say for a moment that they got the right guy. They got the shooter, and the shooter is Tyler Robinson. I don't believe, like, for a second, that he acted alone. It's just not possible. Just not possible. I was scouting the University of Utah Valley University on Google Earth, and I would say this is way too. There too many variables in there. For him, for him to, well, first scout the area, because I don't know how could he, Tyler Robinson, know, how could he had possibly know where where Charlie was going to be. That is important, because you need to know where Charlie was going to be able to assume your position. What was the best angle? Maybe he knew in advance. Who did he ask? Shouldn't that be odd? And he was not a student of the university, by the way. He had to know where Charlie was going to be. He had to know which rooftop was ideal for the shot. He had to know how to access that rooftop. He had to know the best escape route. And if he acted alone, he would have... There are reports that he went twice to the university that day. First, to scout the area. Maybe he went earlier to be, that is the little tent where Charlie was going to be. Maybe he went earlier and they had already set up the tent. But then he would have to make decisions on the fly. Okay, which was the ideal rooftop and how to get to that rooftop. And he must have had to go through all that without being seen early that morning, and be able to notice that he had a clean shot to where Charlie was going to be seated, and then go all the way back to where he had the rifle and everything, change clothes or whatever, and then come with the disassembled rifle to the same spot to shoot Charlie at 12:38, something like that. what? It's man, you need to be. I mean, it is technically possible to do all that. Let's say that the event was going to start at 12, exactly at noon, at 12 a.m. One can guess that maybe they arrived by 9 a.m. to set up the tent. Okay, 3 hours. Why would you need more than 3 hours to set up a tent and the speakers, all of that? The people who work with that kind of equipment, they are very quick. They're experts. So just assembling and disassembling everything. So 3 hours is more than enough to check audio and sound and everything. 3 hours. So let's say that Robinson was already at the university by 9 a.m. He notices where the tent is being built, and then you have 3 hours, right? So he begins walking like a regular student and says, okay, maybe that rooftop right in the front is the ideal. Then you have to explore the area of how to get to that rooftop. The other option that is a possibility as well, is that he, before the day of the event, made many more trips to the university to study the structure of the university, or maybe he studied the university on Google Earth previously, and so he had a very good idea, depending on the location of Charlie, where it could have been. So this is important, the amount of premeditation and the amount of planning on this, which we don't know. I'm just making a wild guess in here. So it's 9 a.m. in the morning, and maybe he realizes where Charlie's going to be. Let's say that he hasn't studied anything. He's at the rooftop, and then, okay, I have to figure out how to get to the rooftop. In fact, I explained that in another video. Maybe I can find it for you. I can find it for you here. The exact description of how to get to the rooftop. Right here. Okay. Right here. I have right here. It's very useful to save all the material of all my previous videos here. Many are wondering how he can get a rifle on the roof on the first place. He was here. Okay, this is the rooftop where he was. This was the sniper nest, so to speak. All right. And this was a walkway that you can just use to access other parts of the building that you see there. So he had just to jump this very lame guardrail. And how did he arrive there? Well, it was a stairwell. Oh my God, dude, it is confirmed he had body armor. Sleepyhead 97. Sleepyhead 97. I'm gonna show you a picture. I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna show you a picture, and then we can be settle this for good. That no, he was not wearing any kind of vest. You can check it with your own eyes. You can check the reports of the sheriff right here. I'm gonna show you a picture right now so we can get the record straight. I understand this has been a constant, and I said that myself. That he was wearing some kind of bulletproof vest, and that's why the bullet ricocheted or bounced off the vest. No, you can see it for yourself. You can see the sheriff's official report. He was not wearing any kind of vest. Okay, so I can understand the confusion. So many people still saying, so many people. I'm going to show you something. I have something for you. I have something for you. Now that we know that Charlie was not wearing any kind of suit, I have something for you. You absolutely need to watch this This will blow your mind. This is one of the theories I was sent by email. Mike C, again, with the best goodwill in the world, you want to insist that he had a vest. This isn't any proof, Jesus. I'm showing you. I'm being a good friend. Being a good friend. I'm showing you the picture so you can see it with your own eyes. And we have every single one of us has worn a shirt at any point in our lives. I think we can all agree that he was not wearing anything under that shirt. In many other videos and photos of that day, you can see Charlie Kirk's nipples. So unless the vest is, I don't know, like George Clooney's Batman costume that had nipples on it, well, no, he was not wearing a vest. So I'm again, I have all the patience in the world. When I begin to lose it, I remember Charlie. I remember all the patience that he had, and this is the kind of stuff that, well, I think that you deserve, because you deserve patience from your favorite YouTube creator, right? But since he's not there, when you have to settle up with me. Well, this is something that I received today regarding the theory of the vest. I believe the Mossad created a steel-plate vest that acted as a deadly air gun. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but I'm going to read it anyway. The Mossad created a plate with a thin gap throughout the whole vest between the front and back of the plate, with the front part being thick and the rear of the plate being thin enough to hold nitrogen gas. The left side of the top part of the plate would have a flat lead projectile, slightly concave at the bottom and flattened to simulate a bullet hitting a plate that was scored on the top to tear flesh, in which a special valve below the projectile would release the gas. You can imagine, all the animation as Fast and the Furious engine inside, 3D effects and fire and everything, with the impact of a rifle bullet hitting plate, thus causing increase the pressure of the nitrogen gas to open the valve to propel the projectile into the neck. This area of the vest above the projectile will be covered by soft cosmetic material. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? What? And this was a part. This was a long ass email. And I was like, what? What? No. This is the kind of stuff that I have to deal with. Again, I try to bring you, I have never claimed that I have the ultimate truth, but I know when I get things wrong, and I got the vest wrong. And no, Charlie was not wearing any vest. Yeah, too many fan fiction writers. We can have, well, so much stuff. So much stuff here. You have no idea. You have no idea. I have to make a meme about that. I think hands down, I would say the worst. Let me turn on my lights. I forgot to turn on my lights behind. I need my lights. Have my lights on? I'm gonna tell you what is the worst conspiracy. My lights. The worst conspiracy theory about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Let's say that there are two of them. I'm going to start with the most, I don't know which one of the two is. I'm going to tell you the two worst conspiracies about Charlie Kirk's assassination. One of them, not going to say the first one. One of them is that Charlie Kirk is not dead. I'm going to repeat that. Charlie Kirk is not dead. He faked his death. He faked the sound, he faked the bullet, he faked the blood. They have this, I don't know, they are rather mixing up fake blood with AI blood. We don't know which one is which. Maybe it's some kind of, maybe they have seen Terminator way too many times. Maybe they saw Terminator Genesis, which is one of the worst movies ever made. Maybe they saw the Matrix, the fourth Matrix that does not exist for anybody who with half a brain. But for them, Charlie Kirk faked his death, used, I don't know, ketchup or AI, AI blood in front of everybody in real time. I don't know how that works, but yeah, you have to look into it, Jesus. You have to look into it. If you don't look into it, you are one of them. You are, and then that's the part when I just take my mask off and I am a reptile like Mark Zuckerberg, and David Icke points at me and says, I knew it. I knew it that the body language guy was a reptilian. I knew it. No, that is one. That is one conspiracy theory. That is bad enough, all right? I don't know where is Charlie Kirk alive right now doing, what was the plan? What was the plan? Okay, what is the end game of faking your death? Yes, that's the kind of stuff that one has to deal with. One has to, I had to bend. It's day after day of reading email after email. So many emails have very good points. And so many emails are just sending me other YouTube videos that are very good and nice. But the second or the other conspiracy theory that was, is that Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow, is the one who orchestrated all of this. Hiring, Sicario Part 4, hiring a hitman to kill her husband so she could just get hold of everything, turning point. She become essentially the new godmother of Turning Point and be the one to rule it all because, well, reasons. I don't know what to tell you. That was what are you? Oh my God, no. This is a genuine question. We got Netflix. We got HBO Max, or I don't know what, HBO Max or I don't know. They have changed their name so many times. We got Amazon Prime. We got Apple TV. We got YouTube. There's a lot of content here on YouTube. We have Twitter if you want to watch videos as well. We have Instagram. And these people, in spite, they could just sit down, Netflix and chill, and watch a good show, a good movie. No, this is not an ad for Netflix. You know that Netflix is woke as fuck. But still, these people, they need something to happen. Something to happen that is so outrageous. And at the same time, I can understand. How can you believe in any government? How can you believe in any intelligence agency? How can you believe in the FBI if we just saw Kash Patel saying out cold, we don't have any evidence that any woman, teenager, or girl was trafficked to anybody else than Jeffrey Epstein himself? Just like that. In Congress. So I can understand that. Oh, Jesus, you are supporting the FBI's narrative. No, I am not. I have said way too many times that I don't trust the FBI or the CIA. I don't even trust what is going on at the White House. There are too many, it's obvious that there are moles in there. So if you don't trust anything, the problem is, if you don't trust absolutely anything, you will go insane, literally. Because that's the part of the critical thinking that you have to use. That's why in my videos, I try to explore even the insane takes. In fact, that's something I like. I like to play devil's advocate. Let's grab the most insane takes and let's pretend for a minute that is real. That is a sentence that I use a lot in my videos. Let's pretend for a minute that that this actually happened. What are the implications? All right? Then no, if it doesn't hold up, we say, all right, reality, or what we have right now, front shot that went through the neck. We don't know where the bullet is. There was no blood spatter in the back. I can understand that is confusing. That was the first thing that I thought. As in, I didn't know that was a rifle. So many people were saying that was a rifle. When I saw the size of that bullet, I said, how come? That is the pressure of that round on. But the thing is that it is different, the pressure, when you have fleshy and a lot of fluid than when you have bone and you have everything that is in the head. And I'm going to say something at the same time. It is a good thing that it was in the neck, because if there was a recording, the recording could have been, the situation, the circumstances could have been way more horrific. And we absolutely don't need it to see that. I understand. Yeah, there's one has to understand the times that we are living in. And these are the times that we are living in. Charlie Kirk gets assassinated, and tens of thousands of monsters just pop up very publicly, cheering, saying that he deserved it, how good he's dead, oh, they should do the same to his wife and children, and all that. And Jimmy Kimmel says something that is categorically untrue. He gets canceled, and the same people are up in arms, saying that how is that possible? No, that is against free speech. And what do we ask? Why was Charlie Kirk killed? Because of what he said. And now we see, I try to be respectful with women. But women like Jasmine Crockett and AOC, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez was already pushing again the narrative that Charlie Kirk was toxic and divisive and everything, and misquoting him. I am not going to say what I thought when I saw that. I have my limits. Right now I try to play it cool. I can be really, you know, that's something that we have in Venezuela. In Venezuela, let's say that in some countries, it's like when you're playing an RPG game, that you're creating your character and you're adding some, let's say you're adding some skills and dexterity and strength and magic and all sorts of stuff. And let's say that fox is something that you add, right? So in some countries, maybe in Germany, people are spawned in Germany and they have a certain amount of fox to give. Oh yeah, they have 100 fox to give about stuff, right? Maybe you are born in the United States and you have like 50 fox to give along your life. But in Venezuela, for some reason, I don't know how many are we born with, but we're born with next to zero fucks to give. So when I tell you that we can be quite straightforward, criticizing each other, and we won't care if you have a penis or a vagina between your legs, that's how we roll. And the thing that I wanted to say, I'm going to say it. Fuck it, I'm going to say this shit. The thing that I'm going to say about AOC is that she's about to overdraft her brown vagina privilege. She's about to overdraft that shit. She's this close, and she wants to run for president. Good luck. Good luck. Because that would be quite some content for me to just destroy you online in ways that you cannot comprehend. In ways that you wish that Kamala Harris ran again. And by the way, Kamala Harris is about to release her book. And she said in her book, this was golden, that she did not pick she did not pick Pete Buttigieg as VP because he was too much of a risk. Too much of a risk for what? Because he's gay? Oh, now it turns out that, all right, of course, since Kamala Harris, that she's also got that credit, you know, the black snatch credit. She will overdraft that credit as well. I don't know if overdraft is the word. I don't know if overdraft is the word. So she's homophobic right now? She's thinking that she thought that Pete Buttigieg was too much of a liability because he was gay? Oh, no, right. Because she was the original DEI candidate. She couldn't have a competition DEI next to her. You know, gay man. No. We need Tim Walz. Tim Walz is going to be Tim Walz. I don't know. I'm going to tell you, by the way, briefly, 2 minutes, 1 minute. That's the same thing that happened in Venezuela. I'm going to tell you something about Venezuela. That is a strategy. I'm going to say that I ran. Behold the field in which I grow my fox. Light thine eyes upon earth, and you will see that it is barren. Oh my God. I'm going to show you something, which is this. If you're from Venezuela, you will either just love me or hate me right now. I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. I think I already said that. What happened? What happened? Oh no. I have a problem here. That's something that happens all the time. I'm going to say... People are going to say, "Oh, Jesus, you're so bad." Oh, my God. My Finder just broke. What happened here? Wait a second. Wait a second. Where am I? Okay. All right. My Finder had broke. All right. This is example I want to from Venezuela. A very, very, very easy example. Maria Corina Machado. Maria Corina Machado is the one, the chosen one, right? Quote unquote. I don't want to get into the thick of it, but it turns out that Maduro made sure that she couldn't be the candidate. So what did Maria Corina Machado do when it was time to choose the candidate who was going to represent her more than 1 year ago in the elections that Maduro stole either way? This guy. And I mean, I can't be disrespectful for my elders. For people with gray hair, I think that they deserve respect for the life that they have. Even if you're a motherfucker, I have no respect for you. I don't care who you are. I won't care about you. But let's say that Edmundo Gonzalez, okay, he has some trajectory, etc. But everybody knew, every single Venezuelan knew, but not every single Venezuelan, but many were just desperate, that Maria Corina was picking the one who could take the less shine from her as possible. I don't know if that makes sense. So make sure you pick somebody that is not going to take the shine, the spotlight from you. You cannot pick somebody who is too young or too handsome or can speak too well or that suddenly can just rally people behind him. No, you have to pick somebody who is, this is a pig. That's what happened with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. She didn't want somebody to take her spotlight. That is politics. That happened here. And this moron, because I couldn't care less about his gray hair, because fuck his gray hair, this moron just said, when all the attacks and all that we know about Maduro and narco-terrorists, it's Venezuelan rant, he said, oh, Maduro should accept and go and enjoy his millions and leave Venezuela free. Out of respect for the moron and his gray hair and his family and everyone else, not going to say anything else about that. But that is the problem with politics. It's dirty. How can we trust governments? We can't. How can we trust Netanyahu? We can't. How can we trust Brigitte Macron, who is going to show photographic evidence? I have to tell you. I'm starting to think that Candace Owens is onto something. Not because I began listening to her documentary on discovering Brigitte or whatever his name is, but why would you show photographic evidence when you were pregnant from your children, if a DNA test would be faster and settle it? DNA test. I'm a woman. Cotton swab. How long does it take? And that's it. And you prove everyone, and you show it. Maybe you let Candace Owens pick the laboratory to do the DNA test, so she can go on and trust the laboratory, and she does the DNA test. I'm a woman. I'm going to sue your ass. Why hasn't it happened? And boy, when you go down that rabbit hole of PDF files that are around Emmanuel Macron, you say, we have to fight back. We have to do something. Rant. Body language guy rant this was. Oh my God. I have said so much. I have said too much. You're going to clip me out of context, right? You are going to clip me out of context with the brown snatch and all that stuff. You are going to clip me out of context. Oh, this is the body language guy being a misogynist. Oh, for fuck's sake. This channel is no longer family friendly. I don't know what to tell you. The world is no longer family friendly when people are killed in front of their 3-year-old children. How can that world be family friendly? No. That's not possible. And we have to react accordingly. Oh, Jesus, but you dress so well. You have to act the part. I'm acting the part. I'm being a gentleman. You don't want the 100% unfiltered Jesus. Believe me, you don't want that guy here in front of a microphone in front of, I don't know, thousands of people watching me now. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. How did Tyler take apart the gun while at the same time getting up and running away? He did not. He did not disassemble the rifle after taking the shot. You see him running away instantly because he just picked up the gun, pick up the towel and just ran away with everything. And that's why he left the screwdriver. He never disassembled the rifle. And by the way, the box in which you see the rifle is the box that the police, FBI, any law enforcement agency uses to be able to carry and store firearms as evidence. So the cardboard, it's not that they found the rifle in the box, the cardboard box that you see in the picture. No, that cardboard box is custom in those proceedings. So he did not disassemble the rifle. Let me see. What are the connections with Israel and the assassinations? Asks Jordan Fisher. The only thing that we have right now is some text messages of Charlie saying that he wanted to ask questions. Even Comic Dave Smith, I don't know if you know Comic Dave Smith. He has been a critic of Israel a lot. He was debating with Douglas Murray on Joe Rogan. I love Douglas Murray's books. The Strange Death of Europe is such an amazing explanation of what is going on in Europe. But Douglas Murray dropped the ball when saying that you have not been there, you're not an expert, you cannot talk about a topic. And I would ask Douglas Murray, with all due respect, I admire him a lot, then how the fuck do people talk about Jupiter or Mars or Uranus if they haven't been there? I want to understand. How does that work? And how can we talk about ancient Rome or the Roman Empire or the Crusades or, I don't know, Mesopotamia if we were not there? Stupid question, but we all have stupid questions every once in a while. So Comic Dave Smith was calling out. He was criticizing both Candace Owens and Ian Carroll, as in, boy, you can tone down because we have absolutely no evidence that Israel had nothing to do with this. But one thing is for certain, and I already said that on a video, Netanyahu is making sure to milk that cloud, oh baby, so sweet cloud, all the way back to the propaganda machine. That's it. That's how politics works. That's how politics works. That's how politics works. I mean, that's how you act. If you are the leader of a country like Israel or the United States or the UK or any respectable country, you have to play dirty. And yeah, playing dirty means that if you can use something for propaganda, you will use it. That's the law of the land. I am just a messenger. So that is the reality. Nobody has proof, nobody has evidence that Israel did it, but Netanyahu is using that for propaganda for Israel, 100%. Nobody can deny that. It is undeniable. What was the text on the t-shirt that Tyler Robinson was wearing? I really don't know. I'm going to find out a better, I think it was an eagle or something. It was asked by English Bottle Cap. Candace Peterson, is there a link between transitioning and violence? The hormones, meds, surgeries are all experimental. Yeah, they're all experimental, and well, it's like Vittorio. I don't know if you follow Vittorio, Iter Intellectus on X. That guy has an amazing account. He made a very good explanation of why so many trans people become violent. It's because they are being told from kids, gender is fluid. You were assigned that gender at birth. Maybe that is not your real gender. Maybe not because you have a penis, you're a boy. Not because you have a vagina, you're a girl. Maybe there's I don't know. Maybe you can choose whatever you want. It's like this moron Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is nobody. I have to mention him because he's so moronic. He said, "Oh, you are the gender that you want to be. Maybe you wake up as a woman and you have lunch as a man. Fuck. Why don't you fuck off?" I'm gonna use a picture. I'm gonna use a picture. Says more than 1,000 words. I think maybe this is not the right one. I want to use it. Oh my God, there are words that you cannot say. There are words that you cannot say, but maybe you can imply. And I will imply this word here. And nobody can cancel me because I'm not saying anything really. As long as I just show you this image. When I'm talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson. So, this guy says, yeah, you can wake up as a girl and have lunch as a boy, and that's your prerogative. You're not harming anybody. So you ask me if telling that to a kid that is 6 years old is not going to confuse them. In elementary school, because it's in elementary school, you begin confusing them about gender and telling them that, yeah, you can go full, you can take up the ass. And that is normal. That is normal, taking up your ass. Why not? You know? And then, okay, maybe if you are 18 years old, maybe that could be a thing. But if you are 6 years old, no, you're going to be confused. And then maybe, oh, I don't know if I'm a girl. Oh my God, your mother is part of those... those demonic groups of women who absolutely want all their children to transition. So the more children you transition, the more popular you become. So yeah, they will cut off your dick, and cut off your tits just for clout. And at some point you will realize, when you understand what is going on, that you were fooled and there's no coming back. And the world that you thought that you were going to feel better because now you are in the gender that you think you are, it comes crashing down. And you realize that all those doctors, all those teachers, your own parents, all your neighbors, everything that encouraged your transition, all of them just took your innocence away. They took advantage of your innocence to do something demonic, to make you believe that you were born in the wrong body. And they chop off your dick and your tits. How do you think people are going to feel in that situation? It's obvious. So they're going to grab a gun and they're going to say, I'm going to hurt people. Fuck's sake, why? Motherfucker. I would say, come here, because I know that they are not listening to me, but I would say, come here. Fuck's sake. Can't you, I don't know, did you forget the address of the doctor that did that to you? Did it get, I don't know, lost in the mail or something? You erase the contact from your phone? You have to go to a church to shoot children? You have to go to a school to shoot children? What do children have to do with that? And I'm going to tell you, what do children have to do with that? They want to destroy the innocence of children the same way their innocence was destroyed. And it's tragic. And it's tragic that that happens. No, the United States does not have a problem, a gun problem. I'm going to repeat that so you can cut me out of context. The United States does not have a gun problem. The United States has a mental illness problem that is exacerbated by the demonic policies of the Democrat Party, who have no other way of crafting a victimhood narrative than to pushing for racism. Thanks, Obama. Thanks, you. Fuckhead. Pushing the trans agenda because they know this is what's going to happen. And that's when you ask me, is this a hit from the deep state? It would be so easy to create a trans terrorist cell because the people is out there. The freaks are out there. And I'm way past the point of saying, oh, they were brainwashed by their parents. Sorry, but that is not my problem. That is literally not my problem. I really don't care. That's the reality. I can hear so many of you saying, then Jesus, you are not a true Christian. I am a true Christian. But I have common sense as well. Because those are the same, the people that tell you you are not a true Christian are the same ones who are going to tell you that the one that killed Irina Sarutska, who was arrested 14 times and released how many times? 13 times, released 14. Oh, he needed. I think that he is in a 60-day. That's another thing. Don't get me started. I'm already started. I'm here, but I don't know. I had like 200 questions to answer still, and we have not spoken about the topic of Irina Sarutska, who was killed in cold blood because she was white. I got that white girl. Everything is recorded. They cannot. They just cannot. Maybe they're trying to distract us from that. How convenient. Charlie Kirk is killed. And the same day, I think it's Congress, the Senate passes something to block the Epstein list to be released. And of course, Irina's murder is basically forgotten instantly. There's so much happening right now. It's something that really has, it has been so hard to sleep this past week, this past 10 days. We had to watch the video of Irina Sarutska being bled to death, not only by a monster who slit her throat, but all these people who did nothing. And then we have Charlie Kirk. And you say, what the fuck is happening with the world? And when I say the world, is that I see Donald Trump next to Keir Starmer. And Keir Starmer, that cocksucker, wanker, I cannot. I don't know. I wish. You know that one of the best swear words, insults that I know comes from Spain. Spain has the best swear word in the world, and I'm going to send it with all my heart to Keir Starmer. It's basically, I take a dump in all your dead. I take a dump on your ancestor. Me cago en todos tus muertos. Keir Starmer. I don't know better swear word than that. I shit on your dad. Because that's what you deserve. Because that snake was right there. He was asked, what do you think about religion? What about Christianity? Christian faith in the UK. Oh, I was Christian. Had been my faith. Fucker. You said 3 years ago to the Times that you did not believe in God. These are the people. These are the people running our countries. These are the people infecting countries with abroadians who bring diseases, who bring violence, who eat the taxpayer money that you earn and you pay. And you have to tolerate that. And you go to jail if you complain. Just in case, I'm pretty sure some of you, oh, that is, I am not drink. I haven't had a drink, I don't know, in years. It's not I have problems with alcohol. I've never drank like in, I don't know how much time. It's like what? Like 3 years or something. I don't know, 2 years. I am completely sober right now. This is me. I mean, I would say 70% unfiltered. No, you don't want to. I think I could go 100% if we were offline and we had some kind of, I don't know, you leave your phone at the door. Leave your phone at the door. You cannot record this. Let me see. Why was there no blood spatter? Asks Cast Call. Have no idea. My only, if you have to say, you have to wonder how you get this. How do you get this through the throat? And there's no blood spatter behind something, anything. Even if as someone have said, even if making contact with a bone this is something that can break a bone, especially if it's entering a fleshy area as the neck. Where's the bullet? Why was no apparent exit wound on any video? I have no idea. I have no explanation for that. I do know for a fact that what we saw in that gruesome video was an entry wound. Was the trans boyfriend his handler? Very good question, MMA Pounding. This circles back to what we were saying, that you can have a deep state that basically nurtures the idea, that confuses these boys to make them trans, and at the same time you can infiltrate those Discord chats to make sure that they become hyper ultra left-leaning Antifa and all the stuff. And they watch all these influencers like Destiny and Hassan Piker, and it's so terrible in so many ways. I'm gonna answer the super chats. So many super chats here that I have not answered. Let me see. Jorge Cunha, ballistics don't lie. Where's the autopsy report? My fear is that that's the thing that they should have done in less than 24 hours, 48 hours. They see all this outrage online, all these videos, all this discussion around the bullet. Where's the bullet? And it's like the FBI wants the noise, likes the noise. They could cut all that noise just with there's a ballistics report. This is what happened with the bullet. This is how Charlie Kirk died. They haven't. This is something that they could know literally hours after he was at the coroner's table. And they don't care. They prefer the noise that we're making, sadly, is covering up for something we don't know what it is. The Light Direction, thank you, The Light Direction, for your super chat. Thanks for all your efforts. I do my best. I'm trying to do my best, especially trying to make a compilation of everything that I see online, even the insane things that we see online. Insane things is an understatement. Let me see. Oh, SSJB, one of our mods, where are you? Let me see. Thank you for your super chat. Common Sense Crusaders. You know that I used to say Common Sense Crusaders. And then I realized that Father Calvin Robinson already used that. So that's why I did not say Common Sense Crusaders. It's like he has the copyright. Big shout out to Father Calvin. Great guy. Isabella, thank you for your super sticker. Lemon character holding his hand in front of his mouth, grinning. Thank you. Candy Mix, please don't hate all trans people. Most of us are nice, and I don't think Lance is trans anyway. Much love. Candy Mix, you make a very good point. You make a very good point, and I want to elaborate on what you say. Scott Adams said it better than me. You should not judge one person for the group that they belong to. That is a fact. That is totally unfair. And I've said the same example about Venezuelans and myself. I mean, a lot of Venezuelans are treacherous. I think there is no better word that defines Venezuelans in so many aspects. I know that Venezuelans are going to get mad at me. Oh, Jesus, not all of us. Yeah, but you know, if you're Venezuelan, if you listen to me, you know that you have been F up big time by a fellow Venezuelan at some point of your life. Yes or no, and you will say yes automatically. So many Venezuelans are treacherous. But I'm Venezuelan, and I wouldn't feel that it's fair that I'm judged as automatically treacherous because so many Venezuelans are treacherous. I think that is not right. So obviously, not all trans people are dangerous. Not all trans people are crazy. Not all trans people are these people that we see online. And we can have some compassion. And yeah, there are so many of them who have decided to detransition and who are, advocating for more common sense of this. Something that you can do as you are a kid, because that is literally, it's like destroying a kid's lives. So they are angles to everything. It's like you are a black person. If you're black, I know so many people, and I follow so many people that have this based takes online that are way more conservative than me. They're black and they're awesome. And no, they are not like the guy who killed Irina Saruska. If you say all blacks are dangerous, then you're a moron. You're stupid. Having said that, obviously, maybe you know one Venezuelan who is not treacherous. That is one thing. But that doesn't mean that if you are in a neighborhood that is full of Venezuelans, then how to say this without hurting the feelings of my fellow Venezuelans, although at this point, I have said so many things so far that doesn't matter. If you see a neighborhood that is full of Venezuelans, then there's a higher probability that statistics are going to, not be on your side. And there's a higher chance that you will meet one of the treacherous Venezuelans. And we need to say things for what they are. And so many black people agree with the white people over this in the United States. It's like the United States has become this kind of competition. And how do you manage to live, let's say, in places where you are as far away as possible as some demographic? I'm trying to put this as polite as possible. You are judging the statistics of the demographics, because we're talking about black and white, and violence of black on white is 11 times the violence of white on black. And the majority of violence in black is black on black. That is the majority of violence. There should be done something about that. And sadly, Democrats have never cared about it. And I think that is a monstrosity. Because it's like blacks are killing each other. The violence something should be done about that. That should be happening. But at the same time, it's, people saying, I don't want to live in that neighborhood. And you have absolutely the right to make that decision. I don't want to live in this neighborhood full of Venezuelans. Be my guest. Move away. You are counting up the statistics of treacherous Venezuelans. I can understand that. Being a Venezuelan, I would do the same. One has to be sincere. That's the only way that we can talk. We have to be sincere. And you notice that there's a higher probability that you will get mugged or carjacking or worse stuff in black neighborhoods. Then, the right thing to do is to try not to live in a black neighborhood. And if you see that so many trans people, candy mix, we have to say it like it is, so many trans people maybe could be a bit intolerant, and some of them are armed, then if you don't want to be around trans people, you have all the right in the world to find all the ways that you can find to not be around trans people. I don't see any problem with that. You are leaving them alone. You are asking them to leave you alone. Sadly, in every instance, no matter if you're talking about Venezuelans, blacks, trans people, there's a group there's a group that never leaves you alone. But something has to do something about that. So, but one has to do something about that. One has to judge persons in a case-by-case basis. Never judge a person for the group. Never judge a person for their family, not for bad, not for good. That's one of the most important things that I learned. Oh, he comes from a good family. You don't know if the person is a moron. Oh, he comes from a bad family. You don't know if the guy is a good person, in spite that he comes from a bad family. That can happen as well. So it's not fair to judge individuals for family or community or race or group or whatever. But you can take into account statistics to make decisions about your life. That is something that you can do. Mo Henderson, love your channel. You put so much into this case. Thank you, Mo. Thank you. BFX Mark 01, thank you for the super chat. Love your videos. I've been watching since the attempt on Trump. Wonder what happened to that investigation. Totally frozen. Nothing happened. No, everything clean up. You know how it is. We'll never know. Wen Mendes, I have to make a video about this. When you're right, MK Ultra, Tyler's College has a close association with the CIA. I have some information about that. I haven't made that video. I have to make that video, in fact. You're right. And the droid you're looking for, UFO hearings started the day Charlie was killed. I think that is another smoke screen. I think that is another red herring to distract. Copper Mountain 32. Can this be an attack on this court to shut it down? There's a big problem with that, Copper Mountain 32, because there was a big hacking of this court like 2 days ago or yesterday. Somebody hacked like 2 billion messages and voice messages, everything in there. And this is a very delicate situation because the people at this court can claim at any point that something that Patel is right. He gets right that they have to be very careful on how they collect all the information so they can give the Department of Justice everything totally legal so they can have a proper, prosecution of not only of Tyler Robinson, but also of the rest of the people that they're going to uncover. You remember, for example, the trial of Alec Baldwin, in which, because of a technicality, the trial was void, and then he was just free. He was free because the trial was void because a technicality of and the evidence of a bag of something really small, but only that, the tainting of one part of the evidence can void an entire trial, and that everything goes down the drain. So they have to be very careful about that. Patel is right on that regard. I don't know to what extent this court can get away with it. That is a can of worms. C. Kruger, was Charlie an organ donor? God bless. I have no idea, C. Kruger. Have no idea about that. Why are people dismissing the circumstances leading to Charlie's assassination? Isn't it important? The circumstances is that, yes, many people are highlighting that he was asking questions about Israel. I think I should assemble everything regarding that, but at the same time, it's just still circumstantial evidence. It's not direct evidence that you can. He could be even criticizing Israel, but that doesn't mean that Israel or Netanyahu or the Jewish robot with lasers, with Jewish lasers, kill him. We cannot prove that directly. Monica, thank you for your super chat. Thank you. Oh, see, Kruger, this is amazing. 60,000 new turning point chapters and counting. That was amazing. Some people were criticizing Erica Kirk within her words when she was addressing in that 16-minute video. She was addressing Turning Point so many times and inviting people to join Turning Point. And so many people say, oh, that is bad taste. She should be crying for her husband. She should be, weeping. She should be talking about her husband, not Turning Point. And I say, man, Turning Point was Charlie Kirk's life's work. If there was an opportunity to address the nation in the name of Charlie Kirk, if he had died, Charlie would have wanted for Turning Point to be pushed in all the ways possible. So I'm sure that she did what had to be done because, well, I think that I find it logical. But many people, that so many people are trying to find ways to criticize her in any way that you can imagine. UK, no. Did you see White-Hide guy's video? Yes. Did you think he's being honest? Yes. He seems insincere, and so did Erica. I thought that they were behaving like normal human beings. I thought that they were sincere. Again, I am not 100% on the spot every time. I can get it wrong. Maybe I can get carried away by emotions as well. But both Turek, the guy with the white hat, and Erica seemed honest to me. So that's why I think. Matt fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Famous last words. Love you, Jesus. Keep it going. Yeah, sometimes I just want to say things. Sometimes, you know, if you have been following me for some time here on the Body Language Guy, on the Royal Rogue, you know that sometimes, especially lives, I get carried away. Especially lives, I can get carried away. I think that so many things have to be said. So many things have to be said, and people have to be called out for what they are. Spanky Jones, super sticker. Thank you, Spanky Jones, for that super sticker of a peer character. S1EW, you keep misidentify the white t-shirt guy. He's standing under the letters on in the word wrong, not Frank. I have a clip in my YouTube shorts. Send me that clip, or send me an email, S1EWW, and I take a look at it. Of course, yeah. Why not? I can get things wrong. Spanky Jones, most epic rant ever. Love it. Well, save it. Save it for the ages. DJ Show Day, I bless your unfiltered mouth, Mr. Jesus. I am loving this. Yeah, that is my unfiltered mouth. I mean, I ran out of fucks to give. Flutterby, much love and blissful from South Louisiana. Thank you, Flutterby, for that super chat. Darren has a point. If you let the wolves free, the innocent will be dead shortly. That's what we're living in. That's the world that we're living in. Europe, the UK, United States to some point. I really hope that my hope, this is the gamble that I took last year, when I remember that up to the Trump assassination attempt at Butler, I was people know that I already liked Trump in so many ways. He has always been amusing to me. In fact, he was amusing to the Democrat Party before he ran for president the first time. You remember all those videos with Hillary Clinton, with Whoopi Goldberg, with all of them loved Trump until he ran for president, of course. And I remember that it was, I don't know, maybe what was in August, from August or September in 2024, that I said, you have to do the right thing, especially when I realized what Biden had done to the country, when everything was being found out, the destruction, especially with the illegal immigration, and that Kamala Harris was going to double down on it. And the instability of the world was at stake at the same time. So I said, okay, so I guess I'm going to literally support Donald Trump directly. I'm going to support him in these elections. And well, I wouldn't say that half of my audience just disappeared, because that's not true. I would say that maybe 10% of my audience just said, hey, goodbye, you are a Nazi, you're a fascist. I can't understand how such a I don't know, educated man can support Trump. But I try to explain what socialism, what communism, and what Biden and Kamala had done to the country, and that Kamala had absolutely nothing to prove that she was going to do different. And in her book, by the way, she claims that the moment that she realized, oh, I didn't notice that I had, pulled the pin on a grenade, is when she was asked in The View if she would have done anything different than Joe Biden, and she said the words, "Nothing comes to my mind." And that was the meltdown that literally destroyed Kamala Harris' campaign. Even so, she got close to 75 million votes. 75 million votes. That is concerning enough. 75 million Americans voted for Kamala Harris. Let's say that, oh, but no, not all of them, Jesus, that there's a lot of cheating in there. Let's say that 10 million where I don't know, mail-in ballots. The number is really 60 million. 60 million voted. 60 million people voted for Kamala Harris. That is still a fuck ton of people who voted for Kamala Harris. That's a problem. That is a big problem. And I have no regrets. You know, something that many people don't know is that you see my Twitter account on X. My Twitter account is active since January 2019, something like that. It was when I came back to Twitter. I had a hiatus some years with the project, and when I came back, I was just talking about body language, some Venezuelan politics, but not that much. Was mainly focused on body language. Like this channel, the Body Language Guy, was pretty much not about politics. And I remember on my Twitter account, every time I began to become more and more, like speaking about politics and the stuff that was happening, I got this backlash and I say, no, Jesus, you're not here for that. You're here for, your professional brand stuff, the usual stuff, right? Because I was still just pushing for my the body language side of things. And I remember that I wipe out, that you download your information from X and you send it to a service and they essentially wipe your account clean and you start from zero. And I did that 3 or 4 times, in which I always resorted back to begin political rants, to be criticizing stuff. I get a backlash, more backlash, and I said, no, I had to remain professional. I had to remain unbiased. I had to remain, in the center lane. I will wipe this out. You realize at some point that there's a pattern, as everything in life. If you realize that you naturally and organically, there's no outside interference, a foreign country paying for you to say things online, you're saying them for free, and you naturally gravitate to that. At some point I realized I'm going to end up here where I am and talking to you the way that I'm talking to you. And after the assassination attempt, and after what I realized was going to happen to the United States, and after, I realized what would happen if Kamala Harris became president of the United States, and what would happen worldwide. Yeah, that was like pretty much the turning point. I said, I cannot escape this destiny any longer. I have to change things. I have to say the things that I've been saying, and every time I have this backlash, I just delete everything and pretend that it didn't happen. I wouldn't do that again. Because at some point, yes, I realized that I have some responsibility. How many of us are around? It's like more than 900,000. We are closer and closer and closer to 1,912,316 body language bodies. Closer and closer to 1 million. I've never had 1 million followers, subscribers in any platform ever. So that's going to be a first time. So one has a responsibility. I could just talk about celebrities and gossip and royals and non-royals. That can be fun. Not gonna lie, we have had a very fun times making fun of Meghan. That is undeniable. But you notice that at some point it's like everything has become politics. Everything. And to what extent everything has become politics? I'm going to give you a very good example. Everything has become politics to the extent that maybe you are into fitness. Let's say that you are into fitness. You're a fitness influencer. And you think for a minute that a fitness influencer doesn't have to talk about politics. Because why? It's fitness, right? It's protein, it's creatine, it's, I don't know, squats, Bulgarian split squats. Not burpees. Burpees. Whoever came up with burpees should be I don't know, should have prosecuted. But whatever. You are a fitness influencer. You don't need to talk about politics, right? Wrong. Because at some point you will have to say, hey, animal protein is the most has the amino acids. You will get all the vegans, the climate change, the stuff, all that stuff. And you know that all that is deeply rooted right now in politics, especially the climate change thing. So how dare you tell people to eat meat? I know that I don't want to fight in that. I have fought so much today. I know that so many of you are vegan. I really, I don't know, live your life, be free, do whatever you want. You have the right to do it. I could never do it. There are many vegan recipes that are just amazing and delicious, but you know what I stand for. Blue rare. I stand for blue rare. That is what I'm gonna say. If you're a fitness influencer, also, it's gonna happen that maybe you are against cameras in gyms, and you have to speak against cameras in gyms or people bullying other people, and everything becomes political, because then you're talking about maybe being misogynist or maybe even misandrist because, well, the interactions in the gym and people being filmed, and that is illegal, and a bunch of stuff. And there are policies about that. And you're a fitness influencer, and you end up having to talk about politics. And you have to deal with that. Deal with that backlash. So, how can we say this? Everything is politics nowadays. Everything is so political. And I embrace my destiny. At some point I decided I want to be able to talk about whatever I want. These live streams are venting. I've seen way too much negativity online this week. Today is Friday. We needed some rest. I still am, most likely, what time is, oh my God, it's really late here. Most likely I will record a couple more videos when I finish this live stream. I don't know, I feel compelled that I was telling you the past live that was right before the Charlie Kirk tragedy, that the good thing that is going through my life right now is that I have no other choices. And that sounds strange, right? It's great to have more choices, right? Well, at this point in my life, I would say that not having any more choices, not having any other choices, and not wanting to have any other choices is the best thing that has happened to me in quite some time. So I can just dedicate myself to this. Dedicate myself to, if something is happening, let's find out what is happening, why it's happening, how can we make sense of this, how can we present that in an engaging way, how can entertain you? Are you not entertained? That is the thing that I ask myself over and over again, and I second guess myself. I told you last time, I'm the king of second guessing myself. I am the absolute king of second guessing. Undisputed. Nobody can take that crown of me. I'm the king of second guessing myself in everything that I do. So not having more options but this, recording videos, making lives, sharing with you my insights, sharing with you insights of other channels, which has worked very nice. I think that's why I'm here right now. And I'm going to continue reading your super chats, but I want to tell you one thing as well. One thing that I had to recover or find again or get closer again due to Charlie Kirk being assassinated was really finding out what Charlie Kirk stood for. And when I saw those three very, very easy pillars, get married, have kids, fix your relationship with God, I realized that, yeah, in some ways I had to fix my relationship with Jesus Christ. It is not like our relationship was broken or something. But it's the same way that I did not come forward openly supporting Trump when I had to support Trump, but much later, maybe in August or September of the last year. I think this is something that I realized maybe I'm not going to make my channel religious. I think that is not the point of my channel in all cases. But I want to make it very clear that Christ is King. And yes, I have, so many of you already know this, I the complete spectrum, atheist, agnostic, deist, everything. I've been everything, all of that. Every single one, every single stage. The only way to get through these times that we're living in is to fix our relationship with God. Is to submit yourself to Jesus Christ. I firmly believe that, and of course, I feel bad of not saying this more clearly before in my live stream, not being more open about this. Because certainly, the issue is that because us influencers with this platform, if we don't say it, then the things that are happening because we are not saying it. I don't know if I'm making myself understood. Is that we are producing that these things happen because we just, we need to be in the middle. This is only for professional things. You shouldn't vent your opinions. You shouldn't curse. You shouldn't use swear words. You shouldn't talk about politics. You shouldn't talk about religion. And how did it go? How did it work? There are the consequences. And yes, it's hard feeling responsible for those consequences. That's something that I wanted to share with you. It's such a blessing, because there's no other way to say it. That somehow I worked my ass off to build a YouTube channel that might sound so prosaic, so stupid in many ways, and so silly in many ways. Not stupid, so silly. And have so much insecurity, and have asked God so many times if this was the right thing to do, if I was doing things right, if and I told you I owe you, I still owe you a video about why praying is so important. I told you I remember that comes from that tragedy at that church, that all these libtards were saying that, you see, praying doesn't work because these kids were praying and this monster came and just gunned them down. Praying does work. But the first thing, the most important thing that you have to ask for, and there's an unlimited amount of it, so you can ask for all that you need, is faith. And we forget that. And you can define faith in the way that you want. You can create your own definition of faith. Maybe you can say that faith in your own abilities. I needed that faith. I needed that belief in myself. I needed that strength. I needed those signals. And those signals were there. And the most beautiful thing is that I could literally feel that Jesus Christ quite literally gave me twice of what I asked for. More than twice. It is not like I felt it. It's that it's a fact that happened. A proven fact. And that gave me a ton of humility, of course. And that's one of the things that in this 9 days after this tragedy, it's something that gave me an amount of energy that I couldn't have thought that I could have. I have never, ever been able to work the way that I work these days. I'm grateful for many things. And one thing that I need to be really grateful is, well, what can I tell you? There are more than 2,000 of you right now. 2,000. Sometimes you see 2,000. You can imagine that 2,000 people physically in a place. Imagine if we were physically in a place. 2,000 of us. It is a real privilege be able to be here and to be able to reach out to you and to share with you my fears, my failures, my my mispronunciations, everything. And just try to learn together to be better people. And yes, we can get upset. We can say swear words. We can say things that, well, make saints cover their the ears. Sometimes there's time to say those words. But the humanity, that's what's terrifying. Losing humanity. That actually terrifies me. And I realize that the only way that I can have the strength to carry on is to praying and asking for faith and asking for strength and asking for, guide me, Lord, to understand how I make sense of it, because as I'm telling you, most of the time I have no idea what I'm doing. Zero idea. And at the same time, that's a good thing, because that keeps me on my toes. Because that keeps me always trying to do my best. And you are proof that this is just worth it. Do you feel more hopeful? There's a question here. I keep an eye on your chat. Do you feel more hopeful about the future or more weighed down by despair? I think that the future is bright. I always think that everybody at any point can be redeemed. I think everybody has the chance to be redeemed. But we are fighting a spiritual war, and we have to be clear about that, and we have to be sincere about that. We need to understand what we are dealing with. And winning this war is not going to be easy. It's going to be painful. That's what I'm telling you. We cannot do this alone. We need God for this. This is the real deal. I mean, the Jesus of other times would say, "Oh, I can't deal with this. I can't do this. I have the skills. The Latino accent, whatever." No, this is the real deal. So we not only have to do it together, but we need God. There's no way around this. I have always told you, same. Maybe you don't want to believe. Maybe you do want to believe. You have the option. I wish I could tell you the same, that you are free. But freedom, for me, freedom is important. You should be free to not believe in God. And actually, you are free to not believe in God. It's actually a freedom that nobody is going to force you to believe in God. But I need to advise you that without God, we are not going to make it. We are not going to make it. No, not possible. Simply not possible. I say it, I was born in September. I'm very pragmatic, a perfectionist. But saying this is really hard for me, but I need to tell you. I needed to tell you that. Let me see your super chats. So many super chats. You've been so beautiful tonight. Thank you, Jesus, for speaking facts. This is why mainstream media is dead. Keep up the great work. I'm hoping more evidence will come out in trial. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of stuff, new stuff. This is a good one. Free men die free. The reason the FBI isn't disclosing everything is because they're observing all the questions and theories the public has, and they fabricate evidence to fill plot holes that shut people up. I cannot say no to that. I won't say yes, but I won't say no to that. Thanks, free men die free, for your super chat. How do you pronounce that? Aspan. No doubt we passed the day of Noah. Yeah, certainly. I agree. Thank you for your super chat. Aspan. How do I pronounce that? Mimi Momo, thank you for your super sticker as well. Hippo character runs at high speed. Barry Jones, what do you have in your avatar? The two dogs playing pool, billiards. That's nice. Thank you for your super sticker. That was one of my questions, Silver Fox Unity. Tyler Robinson doesn't look like he is very athletic. And even if he landed on grass, that was, how much is that in feet? It was like 10 feet, 12 feet? Like a 12 feet. And yeah, it was quite a jump. And I said, does this guy practice parkour? Silver Fox Unity asked, maybe nothing, but if the shooter jumped off the roof, wouldn't we have micro fractures in his lower extremities and possibly wrist that impacted? Yeah, should have, but maybe he had good knees, better than mine, certainly. Okay, Mr. Money, thank you for your super chat as well, Mr. Money. Thank you. Loving God Forever 33. Very good question. Extremely good question. Jesus, do you think this is being used for a bigger push to censor online everything? Not just Charlie, but Discord stuff, Roblox stuff, and Pam crazy talk about hate speak. Don't get me started. I made a video about Pam Bondi and the crazy hate speech. No, that is a possibility. But in the United States, there's the First Amendment. I don't think that they can tamper with that. That is a good thing about the First Amendment. Tanya E, I know you are Venezuelan, but you remind me of Desi Arnaz from I Love Lucy. I love that show. My God, I miss that kind of show. Lucy, have some splaining to some splaining to do. What they say, right? I remember an episode in which they were at this Europe trip or something like that, and somebody was translating, and somebody was this translation. I think that you can look for it on YouTube. I Love Lucy translation trip, something like that. Very fun. Hunt Street has a very cryptic message. White shirts, couple rear right camera shaped 9mm. Many people have said that the white shirts people had some kind of gun. Again, the angle of the shot disproves all that. Mimi Momo again, thank you, Mimi Momo. Wishing his family strength and tenderness. Maybe all remember the light within us. Without it, we are nothing. Thanks for your great work, Jesus. My pleasure, always my pleasure. Ricky Lee, thank you for your super sticker, Ricky. Appreciate that. Thank you. Especially for the Purple Heart. Not your problem. Gracias por tu valentía. Saludos. Thank you, not your problem. Gracias por tu super chat. Thank you. J.E. May. I hope that you haven't had to deal with so many trolls. I think that there have been that many trolls. I try to keep an eye on the chat. Thank you for presenting this difficult topic with the perfect balance of gusto and sensitivity. It's hard. It's hard because, yeah, sometimes one has a strong opinions, but yeah, I can understand that someone's strong opinions can hurt some people's feelings, and maybe they are not to blame for what other people in their groups or communities or whatever are doing. That is not fair, as we were saying. Do you believe in the idea of Jesus Christ, of in Jesus Christ as a literal figure, as in he literally existed? If that is your question, I guess that is a question. It's not just an idea. Jesus Christ is a literal figure. QB, thank you for your super sticker. Thank you for your super sticker. Copper Mountain 32, Israel storm between the two sons, Isaac and Ismael. My knowledge of the Old Testament is not that polished. I should read the Bible more. I should read. You know that right now I was focused on chess, but I should dust off my Bible. Mary S., thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Jesus, for sharing your wisdom with us. I don't have wisdom. I am way too young to have wisdom. Again, half of the time I have no idea what I'm doing, and the other half I don't know if what I'm doing is going to work. So there you have it. I just try to speak my mind the best way that I can. Be Haven, God bless you. Thank you, Be Haven. Thank you. How long are we here? 2 hours and a half. My God. Who's going to watch 2 hours and a half? You are going to watch 2 hours and a half. How is it possible that you're still here? Let me see some of your other questions. The account Believe Jesus is Lord asks, what is about this whole fiasco that doesn't sit right with you? Doesn't sit right with me that the investigation from the FBI, it was a video that I made today, that doesn't sit right with me. So many things. I want to trust Patel, but I don't know. Kenneth asks, who are these supposed to 20 plus people that he was in contact with that knew about the assassination? I'm pretty sure that he was speaking, that Tyler Robinson was speaking out that on those Discord chats, and he was bragging about, okay, I'm gonna do it, and maybe they were speaking in code. We don't know how secret can those chats be for the people at Discord. I guess that it would make sense for the people at Discord be able to read every single chat message that they have on their platform. No idea. Where is any film of him running onto the roof? Good question, Mr. T. Mr. T reminds me of the A-Team of B.A. Baracus, right? What's his name? Mr. T. There's one question, because he could arrive to the sniper spot and then he ran away. That's another thing, because how did he know what it was the spot where to jump off? So he had, again, the way he planned, if he planned all that the same day, what amazing. It's like highest IQ possible. And then he was caught? I don't buy it. That's too strange. And at the same time, that 180 camera that caught him when he was running on the roof and dropping off, that camera should have spotted him taking the shot. And we don't have that footage. And that footage exists. That camera caught him on a prone position shooting. So we don't have that. That camera should have 180 degrees. I don't know if I can show you again, so you can get oriented. Or we can go, maybe I can go to Google Earth. It should be interesting if we open Google Earth here and go to UVU right here. Okay. So we can, I'm going to try to navigate here so you can understand. We are here at UVU, okay, where this is the play, this is where Charlie was when he was shot, right? Okay, we have this in 3 dimensions, and the roof where the guy was here. He was right here, okay? He was perched here. Let me see if I can spin this. Okay. And here you can see that it's like perching here in this rooftop. He had the shot right here, where you see hollow flags. Was like a diagonal, was not a straight shot, it was kind of a diagonal. You see it? All right. So there's a camera. You will recognize this. Let me see. That this is the area. Let me see the same angle. Was that video that we saw him running, and then he dropped right here. Remember, I'm not used to navigating Google Earth. Sorry about this. All right. There's a point that he dropped to the ground. All right. This was a sniper spot. Then he ran all the way, all this way, and then dropped to the ground here. I think, again, this looks like, yes, like 12 feet. I don't know. But then there was a camera where in this building, oh my God, I'm an amateur using, in this building there was a 180 camera. That was the camera, the footage that the FBI showed us zooming in. It's not that the camera zoomed in on him running, it's that it has this huge field of view of everything, and it must have caught, oh my God, I'm totally noob using this. He went on the ceiling, on the rooftop, ceiling, look at me, through this, this is a staircase here. This is a common walkway here, okay? Then he jumped the guardrail that I showed earlier here, and then he walked all the way to this spot, and this was the shooting spot. So he had that line of sight rather straight to where Charlie was. You see right there. See it? Shooting like sniper nest, so to speak, here. Charlie right there. And then he ran away. So that is how he got in the rooftop. We know how he got in the rooftop, but how did he plan all this? He must have had knowledge of all those layouts and more or less how the event was going to happen. And you see, some people are saying that the theory of the shooter is that he will be perched like this in this area. The second shooter, or the real shooter, as some people say, but no, that Ballistics done the way that Charlie, moved back with the bullet and everything that I explained at length in the other videos. No, that doesn't match. So nope. He might have used Google Earth. Yeah, Cindy B, you're right. He might have used that to orient himself. Did you get a haircut? Yeah, I got my haircut. AB. I'm answering some of your questions are right here. Carlesha has a point as well. I noticed this instantly. There was no drop of blood on the ground when they took him to the black SUV. Well, one thing that there are two possibilities, of course. He must have a massive loss of blood right there and then. Maybe somebody took something, some cloth or something, and put that around his neck to stop the bleeding. We don't know what they did, but yeah, literally there was no blood in him going to the SUV. King Yeti is mentioning a trap door. I wanted to show you the trap door as well. I was going to make not a video because that doesn't deserve a video, but maybe I can show you what King Yeti. Sorry, King Yeti. You're the King Yeti. I'm gonna show you what the trap door is in a minute when I find it. I have everything here of all sorts. Where's the trap door? I had a trap door somewhere. The trap door. This is a video of a so-called or a trap door, which is not really a trap door. It's just an utility. What is the name of this? This has a name. You know, where you access plumbing, electricity, irrigation of the grass. That was not a trap door. That was just a regular utility door. See, it's a manhole. That shit was already there, dumbass. Yeah, some people just making things up. Of course, I immediately said, oh my God, this is fishy. No, but this is just a manhole, an access panel, air vent, the utility vault. Thank you for all your, it's that's a lot of stuff. I have stuff. That's what I tell you. Access panel. Thank you, CW. Crawl space as well. Thank you, Nada. I have a ton of stuff that you cannot imagine, but I have to validate it before making a video. I got all sorts of comments saying, "Oh, this guy is grifting. This guy is making things up. This guy's spreading misinformation." I don't talk about this unless I make sense of this. I was not going to make a video about this because why would I make a video about a utility vent, a panel like that? Oh, look at this trap door. Then I speak 12 minutes about utility vent. That is lame. No, I wouldn't do it. You know what? I wouldn't do it. If I have something to say, are you aware of the footage of Tyler at Dairy Queen? I spoke about that at the beginning of this video, by the way. I mentioned that we started the live stream with that picture, which seems legit, but some people, I'm going to change a moment. Some people have had a good point. If I can find this, something that you should see. There's a problem of not saving. I didn't save it. I wanted to show you something and I didn't save. Excellent, Jesus. Such a professional. Okay, let me see if it's here. So some people were saying that he was wearing the same clothes that like in other pictures, in other photos. No, I lost it. That's a comparison from him from other. But there's a one here. Maybe I can show you this one. Where is it? Well, no, it's not this one. It's this one. Thank you, Genome Cidio. He was wearing. Well, this is something that we men do. We sometimes wear. We could have 4 or 5 shirts of the same color, and we just wear them every day. So I don't think that this proves anything. The problem is that, he in this picture, you see here, is the same picture that he has on the Dairy Queen. So, but that could be a thing. But we can wear the same jeans and the same shirt, maybe not the same share, but the same model. We have like 4 or 5. I do that. I have 4 or 5 shares of the same model. I like just to wear the same thing every day. It's something that I do. So I don't know. It's again, it's a nothing burger as well. Let me see. Treachery. Do you feel annoyed, Cash Patel, claiming transparency while refusing to answer direct questions with direct answers, choosing to answer with running down the narrative no one believes? What can we do, Treachery? I don't know what to tell you. I think I can look for your why can't I see your comment? That is odd. It's odd what I'm saying. Oh, is the questions that fall on the Q&A. Do you think there will be an actual civil war? Asks June. I hope not. I certainly hope not. Certainly hope not. I'm going to end the Q&A because we are reaching the end of our live stream. I think how long? Almost 3 hours. Par for the course. Let me see some, answer some more. Oh, there's some more super chats. Well, a lot more super chats. Okay, let me catch up with the super chats and then we are done for tonight. I think Jenny is using reverse psychology on me. Don't go and sleep now, Jesus. Thank you for all you do. You know that Jenny knows that when somebody tells me not do something, then I go and do it. So she's telling me to not go and sleep now. So thank you. I understand what you're doing. I see what you did there. Gianit Klimt. Thanks, Gianit. I just wanted to say thank you for your coverage. I posted you as often as I can. Thank you. Be safe. Love from Texas. Thank you, Janine. I appreciate Texas. Beautiful state. Beautiful state. Flutterby. Very good question. I often wonder why the camera that pan and watch him run to the street after he jumped off the roof. It's not that somebody was operating the camera at the moment. It's that the camera filmed everything. And when the FBI shared the clip of him running, they adjusted. It's like cropping and moving the camera after it had recorded everything. So it's not like it was somebody operating the camera. It was after the footage was recorded, then you can move to the center of interest to focus on one thing. That's what they were doing, I guess, hours after it happened. Silver Fox Unity, he most likely planned the attack close to when Trump was attacked. Based on my interpretation of what Robinson may have stood for, bring chaos to restore peace, anarchy of an opposite, and think more like an underdog. Yeah. Everything is possible at this point. Everything is possible at this point. It's also the possibility that maybe the simplest explanation is the highest likely is that he just did it to impress his friends. The relationship that had. I think there's a lot of component of that. Just impress him friends. But well, we had a great live stream, not gonna lie. It's quite late here. I should go to sleep. I haven't slept. I haven't slept since Irina was killed on that train, and then Charlie Kirk, and then I've been. It's like terminally online on X. Man, I've seen things on X you wouldn't believe. I've seen things on X. You know what happens is that, of course, people say, oh, Israel, this and that. Okay, let's go down the rabbit hole of Israel. Let's see what is going on. Don't do that on X unless you have a lot of stomach. Why? Because if you go down the rabbit hole of Israel on X, you will most likely stumble upon all the images and all the footage that's coming out of Gaza. I have no idea if that footage is new or old. I'm just saying that it's horrific. The things that I saw with children, it was 2 days ago. Man, that is the kind of stuff one wishes you simply would never have seen that. It's oh, Jesus, but you have to be aware of the things that are yeah, I know that one shouldn't deny the things that are happening, but at the same time, my body language bodies, I need to take care of my my sanity, and one can take only so much, and especially I spent some time ago in criminal investigations, and that took enough toll on me, and I had to quit because, well, that was more than enough. And yes, you have to be careful out there. At least YouTube, right here where we are, is rather, safe in many ways. You're not gonna stumble upon horrific things. But X is the Wild West. If you go down the Israel rabbit hole, you will find the Palestinians rabbit holes. You will find the Gaza footage, and boy, I think that you can imagine what is going on, and it's way worse than you can imagine. It's something that should be stopped. It should be. Again, I want to make it something really clear. I am the least knowledgeable. I am the last one that you should you should let's say listen in terms of the conflict between Israel and Palestine. In fact, when one of the quotes from Charlie Kirk that I put some context on it is that he said that Palestine is like not a real country. And I just discussed it very briefly. I am not your guy in that regard. I am not. I could study more of it, but still I understand that it's a complex situation. Many people on both sides are, of course. I've said in all cases, my wish is for women and children to be safe on both sides of the conflict. That's all that I want. All that I want. I have no idea how to work that out. And I'm embarrassed of my ignorance in the topic. That atrocities are happening, it's nobody can deny that. That should be stopped, yes. That they haven't figured it out, it's tragic. It's like Russia and Ukraine. We thought, I can be really naive sometimes. I really have infinite faith in humanity. Infinite faith in humanity. And I really thought that there could be real steps to peace in Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia, but it seems that no, it is not going to happen anytime soon. And that's the kind of thing that I don't know. I wish I could do more. I feel powerless. That's what I tell you. I could say, oh, you have a YouTube channel. Oh, how great. What are you really doing? I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of the things that I can, well, more or less understand. And I think that that's why you're here. And I really appreciate that you're here. Well, let me see if there's no super chats that I've missed. No super chats that I missed. So that's it. My body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Thank you for helping me vent all these emotions. Clip me out of context all that you want, especially all the spicy stuff. That is, I would like to look at me in the wild, swearing and all stuff. It would be fun. Remember the most important words. Much love and bliss. Take care. Please be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.